Hello everyone and welcome to Me and My Golf TV and welcome to the 9th hole at the Asprey. I'm Andy Proudman. It's time for Go Low. Piers, what have we got this week?
Today, Andy, we're talking about how to hit the fairway metal off a tight lie.
Can you make it? Can you make the green?
I think I can. Maybe.
We'll see.
Have a couple of goes, yeah?
2 goes.
Okay. Let's take charge of your game.
Okay, so welcome to this week's Go Low. This is where we answer your questions on your game to help you hopefully go low.
Absolutely. And guys, don't forget to get involved. Go to the Facebook, Instagram and Twitter using the hashtag GoLow. Post your questions. It could be you.
Yes, and today is all about awkward lies. We posted a question on awkward lies here, and we have one from Mary Beth Margot Sullivan saying that the municipal she plays on it's got very tight lies, so she finds it very difficult to hit fairway woods and long irons. So we thought, well, let's actually talk about the fairway wood today, because it's something, it's actually a tricky shot to play, Piers, for a lot of golfers. And we know a lot of you guys would struggle with that. So let's talk about the fairway wood. I mean, when we're hitting this, it's purely about creating distance, isn't it? You know, when we've got that second shot that we possibly could reach on the par 5, or we just want to create that distance down there and leave ourselves a short shot in. But many of you guys at home struggle with the contact, and that is the key thing when playing this shot. If we can strike this, then we're going to create the distance. It's not necessarily going to be the most accurate, but most people really struggle with the contact.
They do. With it being a tight lie, it's hard.
It is. And well, the majority of the reasons for this is really that club bottoms out either too early or too late, mainly too early. Now with the driver, what we want to do with the driver is it's normally teed up, okay? So we want the club to bottom out just before the golf ball. So that helps us sort of sweep it off the tee. But with the fairway wood, it's different. We're on the ground with the golf ball. We want the bottom of the arc to be at the bottom of the golf ball.
Absolutely.
So we actually want to look at making some contact with the ground. So that automatically, Piers, changes the setup, doesn't it? We have to think about allowing for that in the setup, and then obviously making sure we do some certain things right in the golf swing.
Definitely. With the driver, obviously, we're on a nice big tee, so the ground doesn't come into play, or hopefully it doesn't come into play. We can put the ball well forward, we can get the body well behind, and as you said, Andy, we can hit that golf ball on the way up. We talk about it all the time when we're talking about the driver videos. With the fairway, as you said, we want this flat spot appearing underneath the golf ball, so the ball, it has to go forward in the stance because it's a longer club, but it doesn't have to go as far forward. And I think that's a big mistake. A lot of people, when they bottom out too early, they do put it a long way forward, and they stay on their backside too much. And there's an element of that, but generally people overdo it. So if we were to actually have the ball slightly further back than the driver ball position, you're going to find it's a lot easier to get that bottoming out underneath the golf ball.
Definitely, and I think the majority of people try and play the fairway wood just like the driver and almost try and sweep it off the top. Now, it's dangerous then, because if you miss the ground and you catch the ball on the way up, the ball's going to be topped. You can hit the ground first, and it's, again, you're struggling with the contact.
It can work, but it's a little bit harder to perhaps get the consistency.
Definitely. So we've got the setup, we've got the ball position slightly different there, Piers. Now the reason, think about this as well, Mary Beth, that if your ball is on a nice fluffy lie sitting up, then it's a lot easier to play this shot, isn't it?
Yes, without
So
doubt.
you're actually more confident, because if your club bottoms out early and then rises up, you're still going to catch it okay. So the tighter the lie, if you're on a really tight lie, you can actually maybe even move that ball position even further back, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. And I think you're absolutely right. And the biggest problem is when the lie gets tight, a lot of people think, well, it's sitting down low, that means I've got to get it up. So they'll actually, when they hit the shot, will want to feel as though they lean back a little bit almost and keep the weight on the back foot. Whereas actually we want to do the opposite.
Okay, so ball position, that will vary maybe depending on the lie. Now what do we need to think about then in the swing, Piers, in order to make sure that we're going to get this solid contact?
Do you know what? We just actually say to people, actually just complete your swing. So if you can actually hit a shot and actually feel that you just finish on your left side, in my case on the lead side, that's going to transfer the weight through enough. The loft on the club, the weight at the bottom of the club will do enough of the work to get the ball up in the air, and that's going to get that contact more solid. As we said, a lot of people will tend to maybe sort of hang back a little bit, try to lift it up in the air. That's when the misses can happen. So literally holding that finish and finishing, maybe taking a little bit of power out, getting solid contact, it's going to get you more distance.
Yeah, and do you know what? Generally, the worse this gets, it sort of compounds from there, because most people, when they struggle with this shot, they see it go along the ground, they think, right, that golf ball's got to get up, so they do more of what's causing the problem. They hang back more and try and help it up in the air, but that's only going to make it worse. So shifting the weight is actually going to move the bottom of the arc to more towards the target, more underneath the golf ball.
Definitely.
And one key thing here when you do your practice swings, what we like to see is we want to see some ground contact. We've got a nice flat sole with this club. We want to see that club brush the ground. So really make sure on your practice swings you can just allow it to brush it, stick your finish, and then hopefully that contact there is going to be a lot better.
Okay, so I had a couple of practice swings there. I think the other thing to note as well, when you are on a tight lie, get some loft on the club. So I've got an 18 degree here. I wouldn't want to go any less loft than that because it's going to be low because of the tight lie. So get some loft on it. Don't be afraid to use your 5 wood or your 7 wood. You'll find it will probably go as far as a 3 wood. The 3 wood can go well if it runs a lot, but if you need a little bit of carry, go with the 3 and the 5 wood, the 5 and the 7 wood. All right, so ball a little bit further back than the driver. From there, I'm going to stick that finish. So onto that lead side, took it off nicely. I think a little bit of ground. I felt as though I hit a little bit of ground there, yeah. And that golf ball got up in the air. Off it, I mean, the grass isn't growing here at the Asprey in the winter, so it is a very tight lie. And that golf ball was able to get up.
Definitely. So you can see there a few key simple thoughts there could just maybe just get you striking that golf ball more solid with that fairway wood. And very similar with the long irons, you know that generally got that long club, that ball can go too far forward. Make sure you do a very similar thing with the long irons, and hopefully off those tight lies you're going to sort of nip it off there and get that distance, which is that fairway wood is all about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, hope that helps, guys. Post your comments down below. Any awkward lies, any other awkward lies would you like us to do? We'd love to hear what you've got to say. Mary Beth, hope that helps. Please get working on that and then let us know how you got on. And thanks for you guys for watching at home, and we'll see you next time.